They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce... Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Panel to Panel. My name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Yes.
Fellow Sith Lord Adam. Today, okay, now not to be confused with the other Darth Vader series that we're doing. This is now going to be Darth Vader, essentially it's volume 2.
Yeah, 2017
series. And this is going to be number 1 of that, which is a prequel, but it's in between episode 3 and episode 4. Whereas this takes place between the other Darth Vader series takes place between 4 and 5. This takes place between 3 and 4. So we're going to be talking about that today. Before we get into that, though, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And please heavily emphasize the subscribe part on YouTube. Game Rage Magazine. Also, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official and check out the All Gas No Trash podcast. Also, if you like anime and manga, you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast, and you can check out the Anime Syndicate podcast. All right. Darth Vader 2017, number 1. This is a fucking great... So far, this first issue was great. It literally opens up... Well, I'll do the crawl. I'll do it as 000 because fuck, why not?
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
There's shit to be had.
Oh, okay.
To discussed. So this is written by Charles Soule, and the art is done by Stephen Kamikoli, who I think he did art for Spider-Man during the... Wow, what was the asshole that did that long-ass arc? Well, anyways, he did art for Spider-Man. I'm not particularly, a huge fan of him, but, compared to Salvador LaRocca, I mean, this guy's just serviceable, but we'll save all that shit for the end of the
issue.
The end of the issue and give our criticisms and critiques and all that jazz.
Yeah, so we start out with the crawl, as is per standard of all Star Wars comic books, The Chosen One, Part 1. The Clone Wars are over. The Jedi are defeated. Palpatine has become Emperor, finally in a position to bend the galaxy to his will through the power of the Sith. Oh, joys. Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker has fallen to the dark side of the Force. Swayed by Palpatine's promise to help prevent the death of his pregnant wife Padme, Skywalker betrayed the Jedi and became the Sith Lord Darth Vader. Defeated by his old friend and former master Obi-Wan Kenobi, Vader was left to die on the volcanic planet Mustafar. Retrieved by Palpatine and placed into a suit of cybernetic armor to preserve his life, Vader awakens to learn that his wife has died. Now, for Darth Vader, there is only rage, pain, and the new galactic empire. And so we start out literally at that sequence in episode 3 where he fucking awakens as full-suited Darth Vader. And he just basically does the whole thing. He fucking cracks Palpatine.
All right, I just got to say real quickly, I already don't like the fact that they started with this. We already saw it in episode 3, so
True.
To waste... I don't know how many pages on this bullshit. I did not like that.
True, but we get to see something a little different that we didn't get to see in episode 3, which is Palpatine's authority over Anakin Skywalker, or over Darth Vader, right? We didn't really get to see this little sequence. I also like Darth Vader looks fucking svelte as fuck in this goddamn armor right here. He looks fucking shredded as shit. But anyways, Palpatine basically tells him, hey, she gave you a gift even though she died, right? And the gift of pain. And he's like, will you take it? And he's like, you want to die or do you want to live? And he's like, oh, I'm going to live. And so Palpatine says, oh, good. And then he fucking force lightnings the shit out of him. And he basically tells him, "Oh, where's your lightsaber? Use its power, defend yourself." And he's like, "Oh, I lost it with Obi-Wan. He took it." And he's just like, "No." Palpatine's just pissed, and he's like, "No." He's like, he's electrocuting him. The blade belonged to another, a Jedi. And he says, "You are a Sith." And Palpatine pulls out his own lightsaber. And he says, "I realize this has been a traumatic time for you, but if you touch me with the Force again, I will finish what Kenobi could not." Now, this is what I thought the value was in this scene, is we're really seeing Palpatine's domineering. This is like, hey, guess what, bitch? You're a Sith. This is how the fuck it really is. You thought this was going to be all, we're going to save your wife and fucking blowjobs and buttercups, right? Yes, this is going to be so great. Oh, no. I am your fucking master, bitch. You will fucking... This ain't like you and Obi-Wan, all right? This ain't like you and the Jedi. This is... You're gonna do what the fuck I say. If you fuck with me, I'll just kill your bitch ass, all right? There's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts. There's no in-betweens. There's no nothing. That's where I thought this was a good place to start.
Yeah, but I mean, for this guy to set up Anakin to be his right-hand man for the new Galactic Empire, knowing that he has cybernetic enhancements... and he zaps the shit out of him. It's like, bro, that's not a good start. Like,
that's
what
the point.
Like, they just added all this shit into him, and he could have damaged all that shit, and they would have just done it all over again, thereby fucking making him work twice as hard.
But remember, this is the Rule of Two era. So he needs to make Vader weak so that he can't defeat him, right? If Vader is the chosen one, he could eventually defeat Palpatine. So, like, Palpatine needs to make sure he stays in charge, right? That's the whole point of this is.
Yeah.
This is all
negative
right?
reinforcement.
Yeah, negative reinforcement. And then he gaslights him and "Oh, you're my friend, Lord Vader. Oh, we're friends now. I just electrocuted you and threatened to kill you, but you're my friend, and I hope we don't have to go through this again." It's like Palpatine.
You're making me do this.
Yeah.
Why are you making me do this?
Why are you making me beat your ass? Like, that's what he's saying. Like, why are you so fucking stupid and making me do this? So we get to see this whole thing about them dumping all these Jedi fucking like lightsabers and shit in the like melter or whatever.
And a nice Hitler.
Very Hitlery with these red.
the Galactic Empire symbol.
Yeah, draped over all the Jedi fucking paraphernalia. And what's really cool about this is we get this little backstory with the lightsabers. And I kind of thought when they first came out with this whole kyber crystal thing, it was like, this is kind of fucking stupid. Like, you know, because this is a Disney creation or whatever. Or a Disney era creation. And with this comic, they did something really cool is they were talking about how the kyber crystals are a living entity. They're like a living organism.
Like the Force.
Kind of, right. And the way that you make it red is you have to feed your fucking pain into it and your rage. So much so that it can no longer handle it and it makes the kyber crystal bleed. That's why it's red. And that's pretty fucking cool, man. In terms of like lore, that's a pretty cool like Sith lore like thing or whatever.
Okay, but how does that work for the Jedi then? Because as a Padawan, you got blue, and as a Master, you got green.
So in the old canon, what used to happen was your color was based on, which we can go more in depth into this.
All right, we'll say we'll we'll do that.
We'll do that. Star Wars, we'll go more in depth.
We'll talk about lightsabers
because there's a whole fucking that's a whole goddamn episode of its own probably. But
fine.
We can overgloss it on there. But anyways, we get this about that, and basically he says, "Hey, like, you just need to get a crystal, right, from any Jedi's lightsaber." I could have given you any of these, right? But then it's not like a Sith has to earn his fucking lightsaber. So he basically tells Vader, you need to fucking go. Before he gets to that, he says, they're talking about freedom, and he's like, "Oh man, none of them understand it. But oh, me and you, good buddy, we both get this. We both understand what freedom really is." And so it's funny, as they're saying the tyranny ends, it's really actually just beginning. And so he tells them again, the saber of the Sith is not given, it's taken. And so he sends him to this fucking planet in the mid-rim somewhere. And he says, all right, you need a lightsaber, so you're going to find a Jedi, and you're going to take this dude's kyber crystal from him.
It'll be hard enough because they've wiped them out, basically.
Right, and he's like, you don't have a lightsaber either, so like you're going to have to fucking figure this out. I know you're resourceful, you'll figure it out. He's like, here. He's like, I brought a ship for you, but looks like somebody stole it. Man, this crime in this mid-rim is just, man, this is a bad neighborhood, Darth Vader, man. Fuck, man, we really should do something about this. And so he says, embrace the dark side, and you'll figure it out. Like, it gives you all the stuff you need.
The Empire prevails.
Yeah, the Empire prevails. And then he tells him, your power will become endless, Lord Vader, and then we shall rule as one. Giving him that cock tease, that gaslighting of, oh, you'll get to be in charge too, buddy. Don't worry, we're going to rule together. And so Palpatine books it, fucks off. Vader fucking...
This was cool, though.
Yeah, clicking through the images.
From the inside of his helmet.
Yeah, the different visions that he has.
Yeah.
And then he finds the one that has, like, it can pick up the tracks or whatever. And so he fucking goes and he just starts walking out. And, man, this is a cool-ass fucking ship. I have no idea what the fuck this ship is called. I've never seen this before. This is the first time I've seen anything like this. It's fucking sweet as shit, though.
It looks like the Naboo...
It looks like a bootleg version of that combined with like a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Or like it's like a smaller version of Darth Maul's like Sith,
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, Darth Maul. Yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like, but it's black. It's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So then we got these two assholes that fucking stole it and they're talking shit about it. And then all of a sudden this dude just gets a fucking, I don't know, a box slammed into him. And Vader's just like, yo, man, that shit belongs to me, bitch. And so this is what's crazy too, is this is the first time anybody's seen Darth Vader. All right, no one knows who Darth Vader is.
Nope.
So this is the first encounter that anyone in the entire galaxy is having. And Vader has no lightsaber, and he's only using the Force, basically, to fuck these guys up. And that's what he does. He fucking wrecks these dudes with just the Force. And they're all, like, thinking they got him, and he's like, oh, man. And so Vader kills everybody except for the one guy, and he's like, man, why are you here? Like, what do you want? And Vader's like, from you, only this. And he fucking kills his ass. So, like, I only want your life, bitch. Like, you're fucking dead. And then that's how the issue ends, man. Fucking, and then we get this weird, like, I don't know, Calvin and Hobbes fucking, like, version of Star Wars. I don't know what this is. Like, I just, like, whatever.
Yeah, it was just, so it's like the meditation room, and then Vader keeps getting interrupted, and then he chokes somebody.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I like robots.
Basically. So anyways, I thought this issue was fucking great. I thought this was a great way to start it off.
I don't think this comic has Palpatine down the way... I don't think it has it, Vader or Palpatine, down the way that the 2015 series does. Like, I don't like how wordy Palpatine is.
Yeah.
But maybe it's for the sake of, like...
It's exposition. It's for the sake of the story, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just... There's something about this comic, the way Vader and Emperor Palpatine talk, that it just, I don't know. It doesn't hit the same. Nonetheless, in spite of the fact of, like, how I feel about that, this whole story about being sent on a mission as a rite of passage to get his lightsaber.
Yeah.
That shit that's badass.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty fucking sweet. So
in spite of the criticisms, I did enjoy, like, the fucking issue, so.
Yeah, I have high hopes for this. I think this is going to be a great series. And I legitimately cannot wait to read fucking more of this. So, anyways, if you want to hear us talk more in depth about this and how it applies kind of to the lore and, like, the in-lore things, go listen to Game Rage Star Wars, because that's where we're going to talk more about it. Which will be out at the same time this is, so you'll be able to hear it as soon as you're done listening to this. Anyways, you got anything else to add?
No.
All right. So with that, we'll end the episode. Go check out Game Rage Star Wars. Also, like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, Game Rage Magazine, Instagram and TikTok, Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X, Game Rage Mag. You follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official, and that'll be it. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.